So it's like there's just these differentials here. So if a male incel had an offer on the table, he would move mountains to get it. Women, y'all don't move mountains to get dick. You won't move mountains to get dick. Even normal dudes move mountains to get dick. Because you don't think, bro, these guys, trust me, they'll move mountains to get some pussy. Trust me.
But it's not classy of a woman to move mountains to get dick, and every woman knows that.
But if the standard...
This is what drives me nuts about most people when they claim that gender equality is something we should be pursuing. Like, yes, you should have the same rights, and I think we do in America. First time in history where equal rights have been granted to men and women. Fantastic, I love that. However, it goes to the equality of outcome, the equity argument. People who pursue that, they will say that out of one side of their mouth, but the other side of the mouth, they're totally fine with knowing that their practice is very much men. It's okay if men pay for me to fly out there, pay for me to come to them. They're paying for all the dates, doing all these things for me. I would never do something like that for them, though, because I'm a woman. Why would I ever do that? They would probably never say that, but that's how they act. So it's very much, it's very concerning to see most of America, most of the world generally, take that point of view where they want the equity. They say they want equity, but their life is nothing like that. Because, I mean, everyone realizes inside of them, they know God created them, man and woman, very differently. And you're programmed intimately differently. And that men and women are going to pursue relationships the way God programmed them to. And it takes extreme deprogramming and it's extreme work. There are very fringe people on the outside who have actually worked hard enough to where they've cut that out of them. But most of the time, you can say something, you can say you believe this, but you act in a very specific way because God programmed you that way. He's programmed women to look for a man who can provide, who can protect, who is going to lead the family. That is in you intimately. And for a man, he wants a woman. I guess the practice we see nowadays is sinful, where it's very much, I only look for her, I only look at her looks. Am I attracted to her? But men, once you boil it down, they're looking for someone who is going to nurture and take care of the family. I mean, you could turn to Proverbs 31. Those are like the initial instigations of that passage. However, it talks about a woman who is revered by the elders of the city, someone who invests, who does things out in the world, but ultimately submits herself to her husband's leadership. I mean, that's intimately programmed. And you see these things, these practices in the dating relationship, they mirror that. And no matter what people say, you see that so much. And that actions speak louder than words. You can say till you're blue in the face that you disagree with that. However, like most of society's actions say otherwise.
Alina, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Let's say a male incel came up to you. Like maybe it was a male, I don't know if you'd be friends with a male incel, but whatever. Comes up to you and he's like, oh man, I want to get a girl. Like, what would you ask of him? Like, what would you tell him he needs to do to like make that happen? Like bullet point it for me.
I would ask him a lot of questions about his lifestyle currently. What do you do on a daily basis? Do you have a career going? Are you working out? Are you working on yourself?
Sure.
Do you have a faith of some sort? Are you doing self-improvement?
Sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of taking actionable steps to actually get laid, like you can level up as a guy, you can get your money up, you can get ripped, you can do all these things. But as a guy, you have to take some actionable steps to like talk to women, meet women. So like, for example, do you want to bullet point a couple things that the guy would have to do to get the girl?
Well, I think self-improvement would be the step that he would have to take before he is able to go and speak to women.
Okay, let's say he self-improves. Right. Wait, no, hold on. Fuck that. No. Let's say he does, fuck that. He doesn't have to self-improve. He's like, look, I've got a dad bod right now, whatever. I just want to get laid. Men with dad bods, other men with dad bods can get laid. I just want to get laid. What does he actionably have to do to make that happen?
I would say, bro, most women don't like dad bods.
No. Okay, here, I'll. Should he hop on some dating apps?
Sure.
If he sees women out in public that he thinks are attractive, should he approach them?
if he's at a low point where he's not working on reaching his full potential to where he can attract a woman that's a high value woman that he wants.
It doesn't matter. No, he just wants to fuck. Who cares high value?
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, he just
He's low
wants to
value.
smash.
He wants to fuck. What's he got to do?
Well,
He's got to approach girls, right? He's got to approach women, right?
He has to have the things that women find attractive, which is strength, status, money, things like that.
Okay, but there's like average women who ostensibly should date average men, right?
Yeah.
Okay, not every woman's going to get like a man with status and strength and all that shit, right?
Right, but status doesn't have to be like you're a millionaire, like you're the CEO of something. It can be like you're assertive and you're dominant in a relationship.
Fine. Here, look, I'll go ahead and grant, fine, he levels up. He needs to level up. Now that he's leveled up, what does he actionably have to do to get the girl?
Get on dating apps. Cold approach girls, maybe.
Approach girls in public, maybe go to bars and clubs.
Right, yes.
Okay, and then when he's at the bars and clubs, he has to approach the girl, right?
Well, women don't usually approach that often, so unless he's very attractive. So.
Okay, so he has to approach the girl, right? He's got to learn how to like talk and not be socially awkward, etc. Yeah. Okay, what do you ask of the woman then? The femcel. What does she have to do?
The femcel?
Yeah.
I also ask that she would work on herself because there are things that men find attractive.
What does she have to do now that she's worked on herself? Does she have to do the same things that the man does?
She has to approach men. Yeah, you have to take that step. Yeah.
She has to
if men are not approaching her, then she has to approach men.
Okay. So I guess here's my confusion here is as a woman, if you approach a man and you make yourself sexually, like apparently sexually available to him, maybe it's not the first guy, maybe it's not the second, maybe it's not the third, maybe it's the 10th, maybe it's the 20th, maybe it's the 30th, maybe it takes you a couple days, maybe it takes you a couple weeks. You're gonna land on a dude who's gonna fuck you.
Right, but most women don't want to have that nature of interaction with
Then they're
man.
not femcels.
Yeah, well,
then they're not femcels.
Well, the thing is it's voluntary. Like, if you're voluntarily celibate, but it's involuntarily. So, like, I'm going to drop everything I'm actually looking for to try to see if I can get with somebody. So, I mean, ultimately, I think this is built upon, and there is gender inequality in this, which is, I think is good. Like, I think God programmed men and women very differently. They have different roles that they're supposed to play, and it's programmed into them before, like, as they were born, because you're a man or a woman. And for men, like, because women naturally want that provider protector, there's that you have to go into those areas where you have to be working out because you need to protect people. You have to be making money because you need to be providing for people. However, for women, it's harder to see whether they can be nurturing to a family. So, and then generally guys, they just look at a woman like, oh my gosh, she's so attractive, I want to be with her. So that's why it's impossible to find an actual femcel, because guys, like, their initial attraction to a woman is very much, oh my gosh, she's super physically attractive. And for a woman, she's attracted to a guy. Maybe they do find him attractive, however, immediately turns them off when they realize, oh, he's lazy, he has no work ethic, he's not a provider, protector. Like, if someone is gonna go try to beat Alexa up, I'm gonna definitely step in and I'm gonna, like, I'll beat the crowd out of him. But it's doing those things. But when you figure out that those aren't something that guy provides, like, it's a lot more steps that the man has to take to be able to get into that position than a woman has to take to get into the position where men will want her. And that's...
You mean just sexually, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I am kind of like taking it in this argument, like the sexual argument.
And I agree with that. And, men are less picky, obviously, when it comes to appearance.
Okay, so there can't be femcels. Or do you grant or no?
No, I don't grant.
Okay, well, I'll continue then. Here, how about this? I, Brian, I'm only offering this to United States femcels. I will not fucking buy international flights. I, Brian Atlas, will fuck. One time, you get one thrust. That's it. Any United States, you know what? Hawaii and Alaska, fuck off. Continental United States, bitch. I will make myself sexually available to any femcel. There's no longer any femcels in the United States.
When she shows up,
they're no longer involuntary. Like, I've put forward an offer for sex.
And are you gonna do it when she shows up and she's looking like?
Just shower before. That's it. Shave the bush.
So you
if
have
it's a
no
fucking
standards.
jungle, whatever. Listen, an incel would be willing to shave the bush.
What if she
for some for some pussy?
What if she doesn't have arms?
Bro,
Even
there
better,
are-
bro.
There are
Good.
men that are not
Good.
only into that, which, like, my partner was in the
Shit.
military, and they are into some crazy shit. But there are men that will have competitions with each other on who can get the least attractive woman.
What the
So
fuck?
I feel
it's
like there's
I ain't
girls that will
done
do
none of
this
that
too,
shit.
though.
there are, again, I live near the military
Look,
folks. They do
I'm just
crazy
saying,
shit.
I'm making myself, this is an offer. I'm making myself, I don't care if there's 100,000 femcells. I will service you. I need 30-minute break in between. 3 per day, that's my max.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, now that this is out there, in the continental United States, there's no longer any femcells. I've eradicated them with my
What if there's too
penis
many of them for you?
availability.
I don't think
What if
that's
there's too many of them for
doing the Lord's work.
Any
Brian.
self-identified femcells, boom, checkmate, fucking lawyered. You're no longer a femcell. I'm offering myself for, there it is. It's done. It's done. But look, ultimately, you mentioned that thing in the street. Hey, a little quiet back, guys, a little quiet, okay? You mentioned that thing in the street where, they're holding a sign or whatever. I'm telling you, like, if a girl did that, man, like a below average girl, she can get laid.
No,
Like
I'm not talking below average,
you
Brian.
go to the club. Like every single girl here, and I'm not saying like you guys are attractive girls, whatever. Every single girl here, you could fuck 3 dudes tonight. You know how much of how high in the apex of men you have to be able to fuck 3 fucking women on a whim. You got to be Drake. You got to be a celebrity. You got to be.
All of us know that.
Right, but even average, like we had a girl, this is like from a year ago, we had a girl on the show who was below average. She was chubby, like below average, like I give her 3, 4, whatever.
Tough crowd.
Hey, it is what it is, whatever. She was not, I'm not saying it to be mean, but just for the purposes of the conversation, she was an unattractive woman. She had a sex addiction. She was able to fuck 6 dudes in a day. And she did that for like a month straight. I'm sorry. There's no guy without like some sort of intervening characteristic, like massive amounts of status. I don't know, even money. Fuck it. He has to have status. That's it. You got to be Brad Pitt. You got to be a like top 1%. Like you can't be some average musician. You have to be like top musician, athlete, actor to have sexual access to 6 new different women per day. Every single girl here at this table, no offense, we got like this is bro, y'all are normal girls. None of you are fucking rock stars or any of this shit. Except this rapper girl who refuses to fucking rap. All of you could fuck 10 dudes tonight if you wanted to. It's a fucking Sunday.
It's true. But none of us
See?
are femcells. None of us
No,
are femcells.
I get that. But like all of y'all males equivalents, like whatever your male equivalent is, he wouldn't be a incel either. He can't fuck 10 chicks in a one night. He can't do
I
that.
don't disagree with that. That's a different
You
subject.
disagree? Wait, what do you mean you
No,
disagree?
I said I don't disagree
Oh, you
with that,
don't
but that's a
disagree.
different topic. That's not a femcell topic.
Well, it's a different topic, but it's related because the level of sexual access that women have compared to men is completely disproportionate. Like an average looking woman has the same sexual optionality as an A-list celebrity. Like in order for me to do what every single one of you girls here can do, I have to be a 1%er. It's probably more. I got to be fucking
Elon
Brad
Musk.
Pitt. Serious? Okay. The average woman, you got the same sort of sexual optionality as rock stars, as celebrities, professional athletes. So of course there's going to be a differential, and of course this is going to be related to this supposed fake phenomenon of femcells, because even unattractive women can get laid with such simplicity. I just refuse to acknowledge that there could ever conceivably be some woman who's so objectionable that she could not get a guy to fuck her once.
Well, and you could even explain this biologically, because men are biologically wired to spread their seed and their genes and reproduce as much as possible, whereas women are substantially pickier. So like, even if you, I don't know, I can't get on board with the idea that there is one, because he's right.
We had a long time ago, this was over a year ago, we had a woman who described herself as a former femcel. And I was asking some inquisitive questions, and she was saying something along the lines of how, and by all means, she was, I think, an above average looking woman. She wasn't a 10 out of 10, but she was above average looking. And she was saying, oh, you know, I went to college, and you know, no guys were really interested in me. But once you start peeling back the layers, you start asking some questions. I'm like, okay, well, would you like make an effort to go out? No. Were you on any dating apps? No. Did you ever like go up and talk to guys? No. Were there any guys you friend zoned? Yes. Were there any guys who showed interest in you? Yes. Were there any guys, like, as a woman, if you can't get a certain tier of guy and you're turning down men who want relationships with you, you got to reconsider, like, are my standards too high? I don't think there's anything wrong with having high standards, but if you can't actually get that dude, you got to reconsider, like, what you're actually bringing to the table. So, have I convinced you, or are you unconvinced? You remain unconvinced.
I still think that a woman can be so objectionable that she would be a femcel, and I agree. Like you said, if she took some extreme measures and she was sitting up a bunch of guys and
extreme measures.
Well, that's not an extreme measure. The extreme measure would be going out on the street with the sign, right?
Honestly, but with dating apps, you don't got to do that. In fact, I think it would be easier on a dating app than just going out on the street with the signs like "Who wants to fuck?" Mm-hmm. If, as a woman, you go on a dating app, who here's been on? Show of hands. Who's been on a dating app? Who's been on a dating app? Tinder, whatever? No? Have you guys gotten sexually propositioned on dating apps by men? You might find that like super tacky and gross and icky, whatever, but you've all been like, had guys say, I want to fuck, basically?
Dude, my friend, he just like swipes. Like he doesn't even look, he just swipes as much as he can.
I've seen men like that.
I'm like, you're not gonna even like look. He's like, no.
Let me ask you a clarifying question. Do you think that there are more incels than there are femcels?
Of course.
Why?
Because women have much higher standards, and men are more focused on physical appearance rather than other things that are much more difficult to obtain.
Okay. So you think femcels can only exist if they're like super, like really bad looking?
Yes.
Like they have to be really, really bad looking?
Yes, and most women who claim they are incels, they're not incels. Or, I mean, femcels.
Do you think any girl here, based on how they look, could be a femcel?
No.
No girl here could be a femcel?
No.
Okay.
Not even close.
Okay, because there are women who claim femcel and they're like average looking girls.
They're not femcels.
Okay, so you're saying it's only like really, really...
Like the most atrocious thing that you can ever imagine.
Can I argue?
Could you
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask if you could describe what the most objectionable woman that would meet the criteria to be a femcel in your hypothetical would be.
Okay. She's 800 pounds.
There's chubby chasers. There's men
chubby
who have
chasers, though, yeah.
There's men who have fat fetishes.
There is.
I was on one of the last times I was on this podcast. We had a lady who literally took up 2 seats, and I mean,
Gorlock the Destroyer?
No, not different one. Different lady. But I mean, she definitely got around.
She's 800 pounds. She has like lumps, moles, big on her face, hairy moles, big lumps, like
paperback,
all over.
Easy fix.
Her eyes are like yellow, poking out of her skull. No teeth.
People love Star Wars.
Black teeth.
I'm telling you, she can still get some dick.
They probably
I don't think so, Brian.
They probably make corn
Look,
for that kind of thing.
Dude, they most definitely
said I've eliminated all the femcels in the continental United States with my offer.
I'm going to find you.
Alexa.
I was going to say, I would think someone who actually would maybe be a femcel is not necessarily based off of the looks, but if they had like an STD of some sort, I think that would be the thing that would, if it's just for sleeping with someone.
But how did they get the STD?
No, but no. Saying they have like a life. altering one. I'm not going to go into details of one, but just
okay.
that is the thing afterwards that people are like, ooh, I would have a one night stand with you, but now they're like, oh no, I can't do that.
But so
I feel like that would be
That's
more
such a good
realistic than
point.
someone being unattractive. I'm just saying, I think that person would actually have more of a hard time.
I have a couple rebuttals to that. So I think the first would be that people, like, for example, like people who have herpes will seek out other people with herpes and like date each other. So I don't think just because you have an STD that precludes you from like dating somebody who also has that same STD.
For sure.
There's like certain, you could even disclose to a partner and they might accept it. I think most people are like not okay with it, but there's actually people who are like, you know what, I'm willing to take the risk if you're like, if it's with herpes, if you're taking that, I forgot what it's called, like there's a drug that can reduce the outbreaks or whatever. Some people might be willing to take that risk and like avoid having sex like during outbreaks or whatever. I've heard of this as a thing, but I don't think that would necessarily preclude you from getting sex. And then also I think the measurement here would be more so like, I feel like it's perhaps a bit unfair to bring in like STDs into this, because I think it's like totally valid to not want to sleep with somebody if they have an STD. But like, absent the STD, would this person still be able to sleep with people?
Oh yeah.
I think it's more, that's kind of more so where I'm.
But you can't say absent STD because she has the STD and she cannot get laid, so she's a femcel.
I just don't
Am I
think
wrong?
that
But
actually exists.
There's gonna always be some femcells and incels. There are always gonna be both, because some people don't have access to the internet and also the money to get
But see,
flown
it's
out.
so
There's
crazy.
always gonna be some.
There's
It
like
doesn't
normal, like there's normal dudes. There's normal dudes who are like average or maybe below average looking, who don't have STDs, who live in the United States, who got the internet, who live in major cities. Y'all are trying to like, okay, she's got super HIV, super herpes, she's got every fucking STD there is, she's 800 pounds, she's severely deformed, and she lives she lives on the fucking abandoned island 100 kilometers from anybody else. You guys are like using the most extreme examples, whereas like you can go to any city and find men who are incels. It's
That's
totally
true.
different.
I agree with that. But that woman that lives on an island, she's 800 pounds and everything's wrong with her, that's a femcel. She cannot get laid. So
No
listen,
internet.
Yeah, you know what?
if you're a woman,
No internet. How's she gonna
And
get
you-
flown out, or like how's anybody gonna know she is?
Yeah,
So that's why there's always gonna be them.
I'm actually willing to grant for like these extreme, super extreme examples that there are women who can't get sex, but like male incels, you don't have to like look at like super extreme outlier cases.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I think, but like you can find people who are like really, really in like the top or bottom percentiles of all sorts of different like really, I don't know if the term is sparse, just really like small, minute groups of people. Like there's some women with double vaginas. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. But it's like, I'm interested in like discussing like phenomena that is like kind of common, I guess. And like the incidence rate of male involuntary celibacy is like far higher than female involuntary incel. What the fuck?
So you're willing to concede that it might not be zero?
Yes, of
Okay,
course. There's
okay.
like crazy,
I think
insane.
that's what we're getting stuck on.
There's crazy, insane outliers. But I'm more interested in like arguing like conceptually this idea that there's like average to below average women who would be happy like dating a guy who's pretty much on her level and like having sex with him. Like there's male incels, for example, who would be willing to actually like date a girl who's maybe 1 or 2 points below him just to get sex. This idea, and that's super common. And maybe their standard, let's just say the male incel standard is they want to have sex with a girl who's like at least as attractive as him. So if he's like below average in looks, he'll have sex with a woman who's below average in looks. He can't even get that, right? Mm-hmm. I think that specific phenomenon where there's women who can't get sex from men on their level or maybe 1 point below, I don't think that exists.
so you don't think that if a woman is extremely ugly, you think that she can get sex from a guy who is also extremely ugly?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
I think it happens all the time.
But is there some she's so fat you can't even reach her vagina. Okay, fine. She's a fucking, even though she's no, hold on. I don't even want to concede to that position because of some like literal like if there's if the flesh is willing, if the man is willing to fuck her, she's not, but she's her it. You would need a fucking 2-foot dick to reach her vagina because of how fat she is. She's not a femcel. She's just fat.
I mean, you even see on like the shows like My 600-Pound Life or whatever, it'll be a woman who's incredibly morbidly obese, and then her like, maybe a little bit overweight partner who like helps her shower and helps her go to the bathroom in buckets, and it's like, I mean, there's evidence everywhere that I think is very strongly in support of Brian in this case.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not arguing that it's common. My point is, if you're a woman and you're trying to get laid, even if it's for 1 week and you cannot get laid and you're failing, for 1 week you're a femcel.
I don't think that's fair. I think there needs to be more.
Technically, then Alexa's been a femcel for the whole time we've been dating.
No.
I think,
I'm not talking about that.
I think there needs to be. So I don't think 1 week is a fair enough timeline because I honestly, even for like an average dude who can get laid, like I think, bro, you can't always get laid within a week. Like y'all girls, okay, you meet on a dating app, you gotta talk to her for a fucking couple days, boom, get the number, okay, plan a date for Friday, oh, she flakes 2 hours before, oh, okay, boom, I can't get a replacement date, boom. It takes a minute. Like for most average guys, we can't just go get some replacement pussy. Like average dude, it could take you a couple weeks. It could take you a couple months even for like an average dude.
I agree with that. That's
right,
hypergamy.
but I don't think it's fair to say, oh, a woman can't get laid. No, she's got to put in 3 months. She got to be on all the dating apps. I don't care if she's not Asian. She's got to be on the Asian dating apps too. She's got to be on every dating app. She's got to be hitting people up. She's got to be going out to bars and clubs trying to get some dick. Excuse me, sir, can I have some dick? Excuse me, sir, may I have some penis, please? That's what she got to be doing. If she ain't going out to the club being like, excuse me, I want to put your penis in and around my vagina. If she's not fucking doing that, fuck that shit. She ain't a femcel.
If I'm sorry. If a little bit chopped girl was going around to clubs and she was
chopped,
like not very.
Is that like ugly? Is that like Zoomer for ugly? Chopped? Okay.
She's coming up to guys like this. Most guys are gonna get scared away by that. They're not gonna want that.
Dude,
have you ever talked to men? Like genuinely, do you have many interactions with men?
800-pound, lumpy, like hairy moles, black teeth. She's going to clubs and she's coming up to
If she's got large labia, I'll hit. But
Brian, I'm gonna find you a femcel. I want to see proof of you making her not a femcel.
You want to be in the room? You want to be in the room?
I want a camera in the room.
You have to be in the room.
I'll be in the room.
And you have to have fucking pom-poms and cheerleading and shit in the corner.
You gotta pay for my flight here, because it's a lot. You gotta pay for my flight to get here.
Nah, bro. Get out of here
I'm
with that.
I'm not doing it. Just video.
Oh, Ogle, I do need to apologize. This came in, Ogle. I got really heated about so heated. I was so upset. These femcels. I apologize. I missed this one, Ogle. The TTS came in a while ago.
Ogle donated $200. Mason, it's just these woke American and Western European women who look at the world like that. Go to Asia or Eastern Europe and they have much more traditional values that are at least sensical.
This came in like 20 minutes ago. Ogle, I apologize for that, man. My bad. Do you want to respond really quick to that or no?
I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, you're going to run across more traditional women when you go to East. Oh, yeah, sorry. I got to speak into the microphone.
It's all good.
Yeah, you're going to, definitely when you go around Asia, you're going to find women who are more traditional. I don't disagree with that. Latin America,
bros.
I agree. Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, but, wait, shit, what was it?
Femcels.
Femcels.
Proof of you making a femcel no longer a femcel.
Yeah, I don't know, look.
I just feel like guys.
But doesn't that mean that she was never a femcel to begin with, which is kind of the point?
It would make her no longer a femcel if Brian went through with his promise.
I'll do it.
But if he doesn't,
for the podcast, I'll do it.
Oh my god,
she's still a femcel.
Look, I find it so hard to believe that. I could see how it could be intimidating. She doesn't even have to go to the club. She could. I mean, shit. that's how people get laid, but whatever. Just get on a dating app. It's so easy on the dating app. She has to message every single dude. And she doesn't have to be super crass with it. Like, I mean, I was kind of joking around. Like, she doesn't have to be like, want some pussy? No, but she can be like, message guys, be like, oh, hey, like, I think you're really attractive. Do you want to, like, I don't know if this is too forward, like Netflix and chill tonight. She could even be more reserved with it. She could be like, hey, I just think you're really cute. Do you want to get dinner tonight?
I definitely think, like,
she's getting
more of the argument is there are guys who say are a 5 from 1 to 10. They're a 5. There are guys who, no matter what, if they try to approach a woman who's a 5 or even a 4, they will never get one of those. That's an incel. So, but if you're a woman who's, say, a 2, there are plenty of 2s out there who are men, like, who are going to put out for them. Like, it doesn't exist where a woman who's a 2 would not be able to get a man who's a 2, because a man's desire is not so much like, are they successful, do they go to the gym, all of these things. It's, I mean, I hate to say this, man, I'm sorry, but it's very physically driven, like very sexually, physically driven. And it's not nearly, I mean, women very much look at the non-sexual things when it comes to a relationship. And men, that's just not their natural proclivity. Sinfully, that's what they err towards.
Ariel, you got something? You got something? What do you got?
I remember my mom telling me when I was like growing up, my mom would be like, a hole is a hole. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but like not all men are like that. But I genuinely feel like majority of men will.
Yeah.
Anything.
They'll do anything. Like, not saying for all men, but
yeah, not all men.
No, absolutely.
But as a woman, if a woman is or makes herself sexually available, even if that guy otherwise wouldn't have a relationship with her,
he will smash.
He'll take that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Like, you could tell. Like, let me ask you girls a question. You get spawned into a bedroom, and like a guy who's 2 or 3 points below you in terms of appearance. Maybe he's like a little bit chubby, not exactly your type, but he's like, seems really, really pleasant and like enthusiastically wants to have sex with you. Would you smash? And nobody can ever find out. Do you smash?
No.
Anybody? Do you smash?
Oh, I was gonna say.
You got it. Come on.
No, I was gonna say, how long have you?
No,
like,
just totally random dude, smash once.
No,
Nobody ever finds out. It's like totally private.
No.
No. Nobody. I think not all guys are going to take that, but like, and no STD, no pregnancy, none of that risk. I think there's a good amount of men who are going to be like, sure, I'll hit.
I agree.
I'll hit. Why not? I'll bust a nut. So it's different. It's different. Two final things on this, and then we're gonna move it on.